For those of you who aren't intimately familiar with this, the Recovery Act is legislation by the U.S. government that makes available hundreds of billions of dollars to federal agencies that's ultimately obligated and outlaid to their bureaus and to projects across the nation to try and stimulate the economy. That's the idea. Now, there's also an emphasis on transparency and on reporting. So right now, there's websites with descriptions of how the money is being outlaid. If you go to recovery.gov, you'll see currently today on the public site, so that the public can see this, there's links to Excel spreadsheets that document how the money is being outlaid and how it's being used. Well, if you look at those spreadsheets, it's kind of hard to quickly understand exactly what's going where. What we did is one of our SEs in a couple days wrote a simple mashup utility written on top of Presto, and that allows us to get a very quick view of all this information and bring it into one place and be able to visualize it so that we can understand what's going on more quickly.
And when we're talking to, when I'm talking to federal customers, one of the questions is, okay, great, this works on Microsoft, that works on IE, but does this work on cross-browser platforms? And the answer is yes for both SharePoint and for JACD. So what we're trying to do is provide this basically ubiquitous view, whether it's internal or external, regardless of really the browser, to these important data and information sharing views of enterprise data.
Yep.
So you can see that there's an IE window as well, but he's going to go ahead and demo it in Firefox, since that's a high request from some of our external personnel.
Yep, this works in both, and we'll actually show it in IE next. So I went out and I actually selected in this little mashup utility, I selected HUD, and I'm going to say, show me an agency view. So I get here now a list of the bureaus underneath that agency. And I could select one or all. I'm going to select all. It goes out back to that site and finds the tabs. This is basically how, how things are organized from a project perspective and dollar cent perspective. Again, I could pick one or all. I'm going to select all here. Goes back out, and it gives me an option for a bunch of different ways to visualize this information. I'm going to pick a 3D pie chart, which is my favorite, and say, give me a preview of that. And remember, this is the actual live data from the spreadsheets. If that spreadsheet were updated on that website now, I'd see that information. And what this does is give me a quick view into what's going on. I can see now very quickly kind of how that spend is going from a bureau perspective, who's getting, what pieces of the pie.
And the interesting thing is about, both Excel services and all these mashups are pulling against live data. They're not cached. They're not pre-built sort of things. They are basically frameworks that read that data either from an Excel spreadsheet or an XML file or a common to limited file and bring it into either SharePoint Excel services or into the JACD mashup in a live streaming, updated, always updated format. So that's really the value add. It's not this screenshot that you're just getting.
Right, and it's a critical tenet of mashups. That you don't have to duplicate this information. You don't have to move it to a new central store. You leave it in place and you use it as is, and we're able to embrace the information regardless of security models or heterogeneity of the data. So now what I've done is actually clicked on State View here. I just want to show you a different view, and I can say preview that in a 3D pie chart, which again is my favorite. And what this shows me now is from a state perspective how the spend is going for that agency. So this was captured in a spreadsheet in a way that was not real obvious, and in a matter of clicks now, and a couple days of building this utility on top of Presto, I'm able to get this information in a way that allowed me to much more timely react to it. Now, I'm able to then publish this if I click Generate Mashlet. Mashlet is our terminology for a mashup-based enterprise widget. It's syndicatable to different publishing targets. I'm not actually going to do that. I'm going to save us a few clicks because I published it earlier. And I'm going to show you how I published this into Microsoft SharePoint as web parts. So you can see those same mashlets. There's one that I hadn't shown you earlier, but that I created. And that one that we just looked at, the HUD view by state, right there in SharePoint. This is a different view from the perspective of the bureaus. And you can see kind of how the spend is going there. Now, I was showing you in one browser. I'm going to show you the same thing. Here it is, and here's the SharePoint web parts in IE. All this stuff is cross-platform compatible. and I know this is Dean's favorite browser, so I did not want to leave it out.
Thank you.